Hello, and welcome to my review of Five Nights at Freddy's 1. With all the stuff going on right now, the new DLC just dropped when this video is coming out, hopefully, or, I don't know, recording, editing. Anyways, and the new movie coming out, I thought I should start reviewing, the games. So, I'm going to review the FNAF 1 game. Before we start, though, please subscribe to this channel and my other channel, the Broskis, where me and my friends play a lot of games. And right now, we're going to start playing Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the first game. So, get excited for that. Link in the description. Yeah. So, now, let's go on to the next part of this with part 1, history of this game. Pretty important, I would feel. So let's start with that. Let's go all the way back to 2013, 10 years ago. Yeah, everyone's getting older. Sad fact. Anyways, so Scott Coffin, the man, the myth, the legend, everyone knows him, right? Every FNAF fan knows him by now. He just released a little game called Chipper & Sons Lumber Co. And so the game failed. Did not work at all. Just failed. Well, it worked. I mean, it just was not successful. So, and the critics of the game, critics were calling the characters ugly and calling them looking like Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. Which, he's not wrong. They're not wrong. So Scott, I was like, that's it. And I'm like, I've done this so many years. I'm going to make one last game. And he had two choices. He was going to make a sequel to a game called Desolate Hope. Or he was going to make a little special game. A horror game. A little flavored. He'll make a game with animatronic creatures. And so, he began work on Five Nights at Freddy's. It started off small, just a couple things. But then, on August 8th, 2014, he released Five Nights at Freddy's. And it started small, not a whole lot of traction, but it grew and grew and grew. And now we have one of the biggest indie franchises. It's kind of hard to call it an indie franchise at this point in time, but it still is. Five Nights at Freddy's. And well, it grew big thanks to YouTubers. Thanks to Yami Mesh. He played it first. He was the first to play it, but he played it first, and then Markiplier played it, and then when Markiplier played it, it blew up, and now it's huge. But now, let's get into other stuff. When the game launched, it was nice and basic. But later in 2015, there was a little Halloween update, because there's stuff now. So now if you played it on Halloween, you get some Halloween lights and a pumpkin. And then later in 2019, it was released on consoles. So now we can play it all and everything. But, yeah. So, just gotta stay hydrated. So, yeah, that's kind of it. But, it grew largely. Now, at the time, I was not a fan of the franchise. Did not become a fan for a while, but, it grew mighty huge and stuff. But there were some complications and stuff. And I'll get into some other stuff later on, but the game grew big. Now, let's go on to the next part. Gameplay. The gameplay of this game is really, really, really simple. How simple? Really simple. I mean, simple gameplay, yes, but, it worked. But there was some challenges and stuff, but the AI was pretty interesting how it worked. See, character was basically just stood there in their place, and then Every night they'll have a number, and then they'll every couple of seconds they'll randomly throw a random number, and if the number is equal or lower than their AI level, then they can move. But if the number's higher, then they can't move. That's why 420 mode is difficult. But let's get into some of the parts. Obviously, Five Nights at Freddy's, you have to play 5 nights. Each night gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. But if you beat all 5 nights, you get a bonus hard 6th night. It's really hard, but gives you a bonus lore, so nice. Then if you beat that, you get a customized 7th night or custom night, which is nice and really cool. Obviously, not a whole lot of characters to play with. I mean, 4 characters really, but you know, still nice and stuff. But now, let's get on to other stuff. Like how this game was really scary sometimes. Obviously, the jump scares themselves are not scary, but the atmosphere always build up tense because you're alone. You cannot move at all. There's no way to defend yourself, really. So that tense builds up and the atmosphere is just oof. And then they just pop out of nowhere. It scares you for a bit. Obviously, nothing too scary. I mean, it's pretty creepy and stuff, but like, a jump scare by itself is not scary, but you know, it's pretty scary when it happens. It's just, and everything. But the characters were awesome. Very cool. Let's actually get on to the next part. Characters. Now, there's quite a bit of characters here. Technically, 7 or 6, whatever you anyways. Let's go on to the first character. Freddy Fazbear. He is a nice brown bear. And he was always going to be a bear. Though his name was not always going to be Freddy. It was going to be some brown teddy or something. It was going to change, but then he became Freddy. And Freddy was going to be a temporary name, but now he's Freddy Fazbear with his magic microphone, and he works kind of weirdly, and gameplay wise, as he will move every 3 seconds, and well, every 3 seconds he just will move. But he will not move at all if you have the camera on him. Though, if the camera's off, he will resume the countdown. Like, if he's like 1 second in, you put the camera on him, it stops for that 1 second. But if you leave, it continues on and goes on for this 2, 3. And you can hear him when he moves, though, as he'll laugh every time he moves. Though he's pretty difficult, but he will not go backtrack at all. But he'll get to your door, and he will wait until it's open, so he could drain your power, so always be careful. Kind of a difficult character, but that's fine. Next up is Bonnie. Bonnie the Bunny. Look at this little guy. He works differently than Freddy. He's basically a basic character. He will move from the stage and move around and just do whatever. Though he will move every 4.9 seconds, and he will just move randomly. The camera won't stop him, but if he reaches your door, you can close the door and he'll go to the dining hall and well leave you alone. So yeah, Bonnie, and he's a cool character. He's obviously pretty fan favorite. A lot of people confused him for a bit, but he's a cool character. Like, I like him. Now, Chica. What the internet would do to this chicken. But anyways, let's talk about Chica. She has a cupcake and is the backup singer. And, well, she works very similar to Bonnie, except Bonnie will only attack on the left door, but Chica, like Freddy, will attack on the left door. And she works very similar to Bonnie. Just close the door and she leaves. But obviously she can move. She moves every 4.94 seconds. So yeah, Chica the Chicken, awesome character. The internet has ruined this character for me. Anyways, on to the next character, Foxy. Look at this Foxy. Foxy, the most interesting character here. Now, Foxy will be on his stage, but he will move randomly, or not randomly. Every 5 seconds, he'll move, but he'll only move on his stage. He'll start off curtains closed, then the curtains slightly open, then he's out of the curtains, but still in view, still a little off the stage, but you can see him. Then he'll move running down the hall, as you can see him run. And if he gets to your door, you have to close it. But if you close the door, he will take 2% of power. And then the second time he comes around and you close the door, he'll take 3%. And then more and more and more. But it'll stop at 6%. So, yeah, try the way to stop. But if you don't want Foxy to reach your door, the simple way is, you can, if the cameras are on, he will not move. You do not have to look at him through the cameras, but the cameras need to be on so he'll not move. But, yeah. Foxy. Now on to the last character here, who is
Golden Freddy.
Now, Golden Freddy is not really a threat, he's not really a threat. He'll only appear like 1 out of 100,000 chance of appearing, so he's not really a threat. Though, he will appear, if he does appear in your office, he'll just appear there, and all you have to do is flip up the camera, and he disappears. If you don't, he jump scares you. That's it. But, you know, Golden Freddy's he's a cool character, I guess. His name wasn't gonna be Golden Freddy. He was just called Yellow Bear in the files, but then everyone just called him Golden Freddy, and now he's Golden Freddy. So yeah, that's how he works as a character. And he's interesting. There's the endoskeleton in the back, but he doesn't really do anything. Maybe lifts up his head, but nothing really anything interesting. But yeah, these are the characters. Those are all the characters. And let's get on to the conclusion. So let's begin with
conclusion.
So, in conclusion, what did I think about this game? Honestly, it's pretty good. For at the time, horror games, there wasn't really horror games out there. I mean, most of them were just Slender clones and everything. There was just not a whole lot out there. So, and even nowadays, kind of like a lot of major horror games are kind of big AAA horror games are just not there. But FNAF has just been there and will always be. So now FNAF is... Now, how do I rate? On a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, the gameplay's simple, but the characters are awesome. The characters are amazing. Story's kind of weird, but it was the first game. Not a whole lot there. But, so, I'll give it a 7.5. Pretty decent, not bad. Characters are great. It was awesome. So yeah, yeah. Now please like and subscribe to this channel and the video and all that stuff. I know it's kind of tedious, but you got a YouTube thing. And also check out the Broski's channel and check out their videos. We're gonna play Five Nights at Freddy's, and we already played Mario. We're already playing Mario Party, Minecraft, and Cuphead, and trying to get a video out maybe every 2 weeks. We're trying to, but you know, it's kind of hard. So please check it out and everything. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Please see you later, and goodbye.